I'm Lynne with Softsquares. Today I'm going to be making block 5 of the Happy Hallows block of the month. This is by Coffee Clatch, which is a combination of two designers. It is Kate Cauldron of Cauldron Designs and Chris Poor of Poorhouse Designs. And the two of them have gotten together. We've got their little names down here, and they have worked on this pattern. Now here's their little logos, so you can see who they are. That might look familiar. But this is another layout. So when you get this, you could decide which way you're going to do it. I plan on doing it this way. And if you end up getting a kit from me, I've given you enough fabric that you can choose to do this, or you can still do this. Anyway, this is available at softsquares.com as the pattern or the pattern with the kit. So let's start working with block 5. So I've made, they're actually going across, it's in order. So I've made all of these so far, and now I'm making this. And all the, each block you're going to make 2, with the exception of this one. And that's because this is also in the very center, because it's, there's 25 squares, and 12 blocks times 2 is 24, and so we're short one, and so the middle gets to be taken from somewhere, and they put the jar in there. So let's make 3 jars. Here's our jar block up close as the white background. It's block 5. I've got my fabric cut out already in the strips, and fabric A is the orange, B is the white, K is purple, and M is the green. So I've cut out the strips that it asked me to cut for the block, and now we're going to subcut them. And I'm not going to put letters on them because these are pretty obvious because they're so strikingly different with their color contrast. I'm going to see if I can do this without them. So it's funny to see the number 3 in there because everything's been in 2s, but we're making 3. It's telling me we're going to have leftovers and then to put it in with block 9. So after I make this cut, that's where it's going. Take our leftovers and move it to strip or to block 7. To take this extra piece and put it in with block 12. I also have this piece. I'll just put that one in with my scraps. there's our block. We have 3 of them. I'm going to square them up. But that is it for block 5. See you in the next video.